Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Talon Television. For this week's segment, Tyler West reports on Brockport pausing the Johnson & Johnson vaccine clinic. Paul Schmidt reports on the latest with the Dereck Chauvin trial. And in a special segment, I asked students on campus about what they hope to see as Brockport returns to normalcy. All this coming up on Talon TV.
I'm Tyler West, and this is news for Brockport. Today I'm on the SUNY Brockport campus, and behind me is the site where 300 students were supposed to get their Johnson & Johnson vaccine. The clinics were supposed to take place Tuesday and Wednesday, but they were canceled just hours before they were supposed to start Tuesday. This comes after the CDC and FDA released a joint statement saying that the use of Johnson & Johnson vaccines in the United States should be paused until further notice. 6 out of 6.8 million people experience severe side effects. The CDC and FDA say that the severe blood clotting is extremely rare, and again, they're doing this out of an abundance of caution. So in turn, SUNY Brockport canceled their clinics. Other local colleges did the same thing who are going to use the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, including St. John Fisher and Nazareth College. The college did release an email just a few hours after, giving students who were supposed to get their vaccine other options to get the Moderna or Pfizer vaccine. Reporting from SUNY Brockport, I'm Tyler West.
Good day, SUNY Brockport. Welcome to the news you can trust at News for Brockport. We are continuing our coverage of former Minneapolis police officer Dereck Chauvin's case for the alleged murder of George Floyd, in which there has not been a decided verdict for 11 days. The first witness to speak in defense of Chauvin is former police officer Barry Broad. Broad, a defensive force of use expert, told the jury, "I felt that Officer Chauvin's interactions with Mr. Floyd were following his training, following current practices in policing, and objectively reasonable." Broad stands by his comment despite conflicting statements by Minneapolis Police Chief Medaria Arredondo, as well as another force of use expert. Sergeant Jody Steiger from the Los Angeles Police Department says that Chauvin's initial force of use to restrain George Floyd was appropriate due to Floyd's resistance. However, once Floyd was incapable of action, Steiger says, quote, "they should have de-escalated the situation," unquote. Chauvin's defense team has claimed that George Floyd's death was due in part to his heart disease and recent ingestion of drugs at the time of the incident. Floyd's aforementioned issues, along with on-site witness pressure, are what caused Chauvin to escalate the situation beyond what was necessary, according to the defense. The prosecution has openly denied each of these claims. The prosecution has currently rested their case while witness testimonies continue the trial. Thank you for listening to the Weekly News Minute. I'm Paul Schmidt with News for Brockport.
Good afternoon. I'm Linsey Madison with Talon TV. As of April 6, New York State opened the vaccine up to those that are 16 years and older. As we move forward with people getting vaccinated, it is one step closer to normalcy. Brockport's Academic Affairs is planning to offer almost 100% of 100 and 200 level courses in a traditional face-to-face format this fall. It is also planning to offer at least 75% of the 300 and 400 level courses face-to-face. Most graduate level courses have been offered online and will continue to be offered in that format moving forward. With the transition to normalcy, Talon went out and asked students what they want Brockport to bring back. So, are you going to get the COVID vaccine?
Currently I'm scheduled for one, but not at the moment, technically.
I plan to, yes. Actually, I'm getting it a week from today. No, actually a week from yesterday. So, next week.
Vaccine?
I don't right now because I just had COVID like a month ago, so I'm planning to wait until at least my 90 days are up.
Vaccine? I am already vaccinated. I got the Moderna vaccine because I am a healthcare worker, and I encourage everybody else to get vaccinated as soon as possible.
I just got my vaccine on Sunday, and I got both doses.
I'm not.
Can I ask how come?
I never really get vaccines to start with, so I just didn't really feel comfortable getting it in the first place.
Do you think that the students on campus are following the correct COVID protocol set in place?
I think so. Most kids around here are wearing their masks and being cautious of how far away from each other they are.
I believe so. I've seen everyone following all the rules and doing the right things.
Everyone's wearing their face coverings. Not seeing a lot of social distancing, but they always have their face coverings on over their nose. I have been seeing some people with their face coverings under their nose, and that defeats the purpose?
I think that most students are definitely following all the protocols. Like, I always see people with masks on, even when we're like outside, which is really good.
I do believe for the most part that students are, falling in line and following the protocols that they need to do and what they need to get done.
Absolutely not.
Why do you say that?
Just because I know students want a lot of freedom, and those don't really give you access to as much freedom as you think of when you initially think of college.
As we transition back to normalcy within the fall, what activities or sporting events are you looking forward to the most?
Getting back to work, having gatherings without feeling like I am doing something wrong, and yeah, I don't know, just normalcy itself.
I'm hoping for more in-person classes, because those are like fundamental.
I'm a big football and baseball fan, so I'd love to go watch our football team, our baseball team, and honestly just like joining more clubs, I think.
I definitely want to go to a couple football games, participate in homecoming, and participate in like the spring formals, and that's something that I'm really looking forward to.
To at least be a lot more comfortable being with everybody. There used to be sports and flag footballs used to do in the fields, but we don't do that anymore because we're not allowed to, so I just can't wait to get to that.
Honestly, I just want to eat like in Harrison again, like without like kind of like the small space that you have to eat in now. Kind of just that, like, cause I used to when I first got here, they had like the Sunday night or something like that where you like make the ice cream. That I kind of miss that. Football games, of course, too. I'm a big football fan, so I like going to games, supporting and whatnot.
So I'm on the gymnastics team. We weren't able to have a season this year because it was a winter sport, so our whole season got canceled. So I'm definitely looking forward to coming back in the fall and having like all in-person classes and finally competing for gymnastics because I was a freshman this year, so that sucked to not have a season.
Do you have anything else you want to add about COVID, the vaccine, activities you want to join?
I would just say go get vaccinated, do your part. We want to, end this pandemic as quick as possible, so do your part. Wear your mask and get vaccinated, and hopefully we can get back to normal as soon as possible.
You heard her, folks. Do your part. Get vaccinated. I'm Linsey Madison with Talon TV.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Talon Television. You can follow our Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube to stay caught up on our most recent coverage of local and national news. And just a reminder, voting for BSG President, Vice President, and Treasurer did begin on Monday, and that runs through this Friday. Make sure to cast your vote, and again, you can follow us for all the latest updates. I'm Tyler West, and this is Talon TV.
Hi, Mom. Can I say hi, Mom? Hey, Mom.